Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series. Freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy and peaceful life. Based on 108 mantras and Srimad Bhagavad Gita and meditation. And pranam to Guru Hari Ji Maharaj for his blessings, his guidance. I'm Satya Kalra, the founder of Path to Anandam and your host. And with Guruji's blessings, we are all gathered together, sharing our experiences. Though we might be silent, some of them you are silent, but through your vibrations, we are making a difference in this world. And spreading the message wherever it is possible. Through the consulting others, giving seminars, Zoom sessions, through these books. So thank you very much, Guruji, for coming in my life and in all of our lives. And today's session is freedom from fear and anger through meditation. And mainly we will be covering how to get rid of anger and free and too many selfish desires and free ourselves. And today we will be introducing ourselves to the new technique, meditation, through Bhagavad Gita. And the verses today are the chapter 5, 27, 28, and 29. And there are the simple techniques how to get to the meditation and actually experience the true being, which are the benefits of the session. And I am liberated. That's the sankalpa. And of course, question and answers and meditation. So let's start our day, our session, with praying to Lord Krishna as Arjuna to resolve our confusions, help us to go through our challenges and get his guidance. So as Arjuna, karpanye dosho pahte swabhava paschami tvam dharma sammood cheta yachreyasyani nishchitam bruhitan me shishyaste aham shadi mam tvam prapanyam shishyaste aham shadi mam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all of my composure and my mind is confused about my duty, my dharma, what to do, what not to do. Therefore, please guide me, instruct me what to do and what not to do. Whatever is best for me, not what am I asking for it. So here Arjuna is confused, in vishad, in fear of losing his family members, maybe killing them, incurring the sins, attachment, ego, worry, my family, And he's so confused. But he asked for the advice, for the guidance from his dear friend, who he did not know that he was God, and prayed to him to please guide me. But the one good thing was Arjuna was aware that he's confused. He cannot make the decision. And then he listens to him. He follows his advice, where he initially says, Na jotasyati govindam, I will not fight the battle of life. I would not perform my duty, which he did not even know that that was his duty. Because he was in Vishad, he was confused. But he had listened to Lord Krishna's advice. And he said, I will do as you advise. Karishye vachanam tav. And that's the prasad he got. His fear was diminished. His worries were gone. His confusion was disappeared. So let's all go through this blissful journey for our own self-purification. Removing our confusion is basically self-purification. And transform ourselves and lift ourselves, our conscious level, and experience, who am I? I am Satchit Ananda. So very first question in my book, my question and God's answer is it possible to live in today's world in peace and joy and free from miseries of life, anxieties, stress, fear, and frustration? But the Gita is the boat that takes us from miseries to Ananda. And you can see how this boat travels. Actually, due to the Zoom, this does not work. This app does not work, but basically one goes from the shore of Vishad, frustration, on the shore of Ananda, by sitting in the boat of Bhagavad Gita and sail the ocean, this Mrityu mein sansar, this Maya. Gita takes us from this worldly miseries to shore of Anandam. So when Arjuna gets confused, he prays to Lord Krishna. Then Lord Krishna blesses him, providing him the guidance, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is a step-by-step instruction and spiritual manual. And instructions for what? For righteous living, self-purification, removing all of our fears, confusions, and transforming us in Satchit Ananda, where we experience our true being, true happiness, ultimate peace, Anandam, not just at the time of death, but while we are living in this world. And also, of course, beyond realizing our true nature, that I am Satchit Ananda. And again, pranam to Hariharji Maharaj, Guruji, who had given all these guidance, which I put it in the form of his quotes. And here Arjuna went on step by step, transformed himself. And Arjuna is still confused, even though he prays. Lord Krishna guides him. But Arjuna still is very confused. He is still in this Maya world, in this upsetness. Here, this anger, fear, ego, frustration, all that you can see from him. And he still continues to say, Na jotasyati govindam. I'm not willing to perform my duty. Why to engage myself in this sinful war? So this whole session, Arjun's Lord Krishna's teaching started from chapter 1, where he cried, he complained, he gave the justification that why he should not be fighting. And Lord Krishna so mercifully guide him that you are not just the body. So go beyond that. You are the soul. And Arjun did not understand that. So Lord Krishna tried to convince him, tried to guide him, teach him in a different language, different format, as a karma yoga, because he is a Kshatriya. Arjun is a Kshatriya. He understands only the action language. He does not understand this body and soul and all that. And then Lord Krishna takes him step by step. If you look at it, our very first sankalpa was new of me. By learning from Gita, we become a new every day. And then, but how? We have to become Arjuna, we have to pray, we have to surrender to Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna mercifully start teaching him the Karma Yoga in the chapter 3 to 5, which we are almost at the end of it. So through the Karma Yoga, we learn many things. And very first thing we learn, Karmanya vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachan ma karma phal hetu bhur mate sangovastva karmani. Do your action for the benefit of all, sarva bhut hiterata, without expecting or focusing on the results, and move on, focus on your action, karma and dharma. Try to convert your action into dharma, karma into dharma. And many things Lord Krishna have explained. We have gone through many sankalpas, many series where work selflessly, follow the noble mentors like Janak and Dr. Raja Janak and many other living saints and living examples, and also understand our own gunas, our own aptitude, what is my swadharma, what is my duty as a wife, as a business person, as a mother, as whatever, we should work accordingly and follow our duty. And we should also be aware of who are our eternal enemies, 5 + 2 enemies: worldly desires, ego, anger, greed, attachment. And then the sankalpa comes that you just observe yourself, witness yourself. And we have gone through all these series. And then at the end, I am karma yogi. We did take that sankalpa. So here, karma yoga, art of work. So we just went through the karma yoga here, chapter 3. Then Lord Krishna, Arjuna still is confused. So Lord Krishna tries to give him some wisdom, and it gives him some more knowledge, because only way to remove Arjuna's confusion is to give him some wisdom, some gyan. So he takes him through that. And where this is right here, through the chapter 4, that Gyan Karma Samnyas Yoga, we went through here from 25 series to 34 series. And in that series, we learned that how can we not be a doer? How can I be a karta? How could I be Brahman, thankful? And how should I seek for the guidance? Where could I find my guru? And then continue to practice the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, our inner guru, but have a faith and continue to perform our duties. And then we go to the chapter 5, where it comes karma sannyas yoga. Through Gyan, now sannyas, renunciation. So combination of karma yoga, Gyan yoga, and sannyas yoga. Finally, we lead to I am renunciate. We had that sankalpa. I am self-purified. This is a key, self-purification. That's why I put it in white. And then I am responsible. I am spiritual. And then today, I am in supreme peace. That's our final sankalpa is going to be. But before we get to that, here are where Arjuna got confused and he asked whether it's a karma yoga is better or sannyas yoga. Should I perform my duty or should I just go for meditation and leave the world? And Lord Krishna explains him that performing your duty without expecting any results, being a karta, in other words, not have the attitude of I am the doer, but the divine Shakti is the doer. Then you can purify yourself. You can be beyond anger. You can be beyond fear. In other words, detoxification. I call it detoxification of body, mind, and soul. But how do we do it? Here, because from this particular verse, Kayena Mansa, Buddha, Keval Indriya Api, Indriya, Lord Krishna speaks over and guides that our sense organs are the one which are not properly used, not put in best use, then they could lead our life because they are drawn toward the objects. Tongue is always looking for something to eat, something like chaat, gulab jamuns, rasgullas, all those things. And then sometimes we entertain the gossips. We want to see what others are doing. We start judging. We want to smell the good things and touch. All these sense objects, these characteristics of the senses and the objects drive us to the worldly things. And that's where Lord Krishna says, make a best use of your mind, your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your tongue, your actions. This is all, I'm just giving the summary of what we have spoken because it's very, very important to go from here and then we can lead to the actual message of today's. So we have to purify our body, mind, and then we can go to the final stage of samadhi. So Lord Krishna tries to tell us how to purify ourselves. By purifying ourselves, we can become a karma yogi, we can become a renunciate. And what are the things? Who are those people? People who are impartial, who are more calm, people who are more not getting upset by getting undesirable results or get undesirable results. In other words, their desires are not fulfilled and they do not run after the senses. And that's where we just talked about who is the most sukhi person. The person who is beyond calm growth. Again, it's coming because it will take us to the next verse, calm growth. And who works for the best, for the whole universe, welfare of all, who lives in my consciousness, in love, peace, anandam. Those are the people are renunciate and purify themselves. Are karma yogi, are renunciate yogis. So this is how we purify ourselves. But now, Lord Krishna gives a new way to Arjuna because Arjuna is still confused. Then how could I be fear-free? How could I be not attached? How could I not be attracted toward my family members? How could not I have desires for my family well-beings, welfare? And why cannot I be fearful? I'm just standing right in the middle of the Kurukshetra war with my relatives, which are about to die or which are, maybe get killed from me. How could I not be fearful? In other words, he's saying, in deep heart, he's saying to Lord Krishna, you must be kidding. You're telling me that in this war, I should not be fearful. I should not have a desire for the well-being of my family. I am upset, I'm confused. And then Lord Krishna says, well, now he needs some more guidance. Because the concept was good that don't be fearful and don't be having worldly desires, but how can he practice it? So Lord Krishna now guides him to next level, takes him to the practicality of it, where he tells him, Sprashant Kratva Bahir Bayam. Sprashant Kratva Bahir Bayam. Chakshu cha antre chevantre bhuva. Prana pan samokratva nasa beantar charno. Jatindriya mano buddhi munir muni mokshi parayana. Vigat ichha bhai krodha sada yukta and sada mukt evsa. So he is telling him, Sprashant kratva bahir bayam. Chakshu cha antre bhuva. He's telling them this all indriyas. You can only way you can go beyond the indriyas by practicing certain things which is telling him, what do you do? So here it says, one certainly liberates himself and attains liberation by renouncing all sense enjoyments. Again, going back to the senses. Fixing the eyes and vision between the two eyebrows. Here comes the third eye, the sixth chakra, that you should put your focus on your eyes, regulate your breath, ingoing breath and outgoing breath, which is known as prana and apana. Prana means that when the energy, when the breath goes in, apana means when the breath comes out, inhalation and exhalation. But it's not just the breath part, it merges with the pranic energy. So basically he's saying maintaining the sense, mind and intellect under control, having self-realization, moksha as a goal. The purpose of knowing the goal of life. Who am I? Why am I here? How would I fulfill my purpose? So becoming free from desires, fear, and anger. So then one can become free from desire, fear, and anger. Bhaya krodha, ichha bhaya krodha. All these three can be eliminated with these practices. Number one, we have to learn how to go within ourselves, inside, how to breathe, pranayam, and how to control our senses. Then we can practice like a muni. Then we can have a moksha. Then we can have a liberation. And here, Angarji also said, regulate the breathing and thereby control the mind, because all these issues, senses, we talked about is related to the mind. Mind, senses, mind, and intellect. And that's where he says, senses, mind, and intellect under control. How we can control it? We can control it by going within and going and learning how to do our pranayama. Because selfish desires, fear, and anger are the major barriers to eternal happiness and peace. And unless we are in peace, we cannot perform. We are confused. We will be confused. Unless we are calm, we cannot think straight. So here, Lord Krishna has this new advice, meditation. And if you remember, Arjuna wanted to run away on Himalayas. And he says he will sit and do the meditation. So Lord Krishna now introducing him to the Ashtanga Yoga. This is a part of, if you look at it, it's the Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga, where it's the yamas and niyamas. Means already Lord Krishna has explained him what to do and what not to do in chapter 3, which we discussed, and the number 4. Then taking care of the physical body, he also mentioned that. So through the asanas, and then now he is introducing pranayama. And pratyahara, how to control your senses. And then dharana, because he's talking about focusing on the 6th chakra, focusing in the middle of your eyebrows, which is a part of the dharanas, which is the going inner awareness. This is how we go through the inner awareness. And then focusing on God, meditation part, which we'll talk more about in the next sessions, but basically here we are going to focus more on the pranayama part of it and how to go within, because these are the 2 things he's talking about right here. That the only way we can get rid of this fear, anger, by going inward. So pranayama and breathing techniques. Actually, breathing exercises are not just the, pranayama is not just the breathing exercises. This is a part of technique. So breathing exercises combined with pranic energy, then we can have a control of our body. So pranayama is the vehicle to expand our conscious self-awareness and harmonize the flow of energy. So when we meditate and we focus on our energy, on our breath, our breath calms down and then we feel connected, and that's what it means here. So here it says breath is the bridge which conquers life, or which connects us, our life, our consciousness with our supreme peace. So the goal of pranayama is to strengthen the connection between our body, mind, and balance the flow of pranic energy. So pranayama is much more than just the physical exercise or breathing exercise, but it is the balancing the energy, pranic energy within us. So how we practice it and what are the benefits we are going to get? And here again, Lord Krishna says, Bhoktaram, ञतपस, sarvalokam maheshwaram, suhidram, sarvabhutanam, jnanatva, mam shanti mrakshati. One attains peace by knowing me, Supreme Being, that I am the superpower. I am Paramatma. You are the small entity of me, Atma, as the great Lord of entire universe. So I am the control the whole world. I am the creator. I am everything. We are just a small drop in the ocean, and he's the ocean. Vasudev Sarvam Iti. That's where it comes later on, but that's what it means. And the friends and well-wisher of all being and the enjoyer of all offering sacrifices and austerities. In other words, he's saying, once you know that every action you do is guided by me, as long as you are connected. If you are connected with your ego, your senses, then you are by your own, and that's where we get confused and we make the mistakes. But if we are connected with supreme power, then supreme power is the one who guides us. So how to practice it? And I put it 20, 20, 20, not that 60 minutes, 20, 20, 20, which CBS has it. But here is the 20 minutes yoga and breath, breathing exercises. And I put 20 minutes, basically these are the exercises which we do. It is also the Surya Namaskar is the best one. Every move we make, it's not the yoga is not the exercises. That's why it is called Hatha Yoga. Means every move is directed by the pranic energy and the breath. So when we move our hand like this, the breath is moving. When we walk, we don't walk with the muscles, but the breath is the one which is moving the body. And then there are pranayam. These are the, we talked about inhalation and exhalation, apana and prana. That's for 20 minutes. Or there are many other exercises, but this is the one which Lord Krishna is basically focusing. But there are many, there are major 5 types of pranayam exercises. And what it does, it gives us the flow of oxygen, balance our energy. And of course, it gives us a flexible body and the energy flows properly. Then once we do that, then we can start, we are ready to focus and ready for the meditation, going toward that direction. Not the meditation yet, but still contemplation, doing the pranayam, then contemplation, dhyana, and then it goes to the samadhi part. And then ultimately we feel the union with self-supreme God. That's the ultimate benefit. So the ultimate benefit here is we feel the connected with supreme power, we feel the oneness, and we feel in ultimate peace. So here is the summary. Again, the practices, morning to evening, as I said, this is a very, very important slide. Self-purification with many activities, purifying our mind, intellect, and connecting with the supreme power through making the best use of our senses. Having the balanced life, it means, and then we are calm. Then we can feel the connection. And here is this connection. Then we feel that transformed and then realizing who we are. So here is a simple summary. By doing the selfless service, karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, all combined together. So true karma yoga is the action with love and compassion for the benefit of all. Then without that, we get the freedom from worldly desires, selfish desires, fear, anger. And then we have a balanced state of mind, equanimity, sthit prajna. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan manogatan atnev atmana tushta. Sthit pragasya do uchyate. This is where all this leads to this sthit pragya, freedom from bondage, self-knowledge, wisdom, who I am nothing but I am Satchit Ananda. And that's the purpose of our life, to attain. So ultimate benefit, we experience the infinite peace and happiness by practicing in the morning, starting our day with Om Mantra or Bhagavad Gita, or reading some good autography or biography of others, etc. And read one message, whatever I need to improve upon. And then exercises, as I mentioned before, pranayam, meditation, and then practice whole day, one thing at a time, and evaluate, self-inquiry, how did I perform? And then sit down and breathe. So it's the time for homework. Be aware and ask yourself and ask the question, how am I doing? How are my practices? Do I practice yoga? Do I practice a Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, which is the best thing to do, which I have already spoken before, and I'm sure you can go to on YouTube to look at those sessions. And then, which vices I have to work? Calm, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, jealousy, resentment. What are the things I have to minimize and get rid of those? Am I angry? Am I fearful? Do I do pranayam, meditation? So continue to ask questions, because unless we get out of this fear, you can look at it, we have to throw this fear out of our system, and anger and desire. If not, we will be so stressful and so unhappy, because these are the Kam, Krodh, Lobh. These are the three major eternal enemies, and they take the smile away from us. So we have to get rid of them. So continue to ask the questions, because asking question does not mean that's our weakness, but that is the only path for self-improvement. So we should continue to ask, how am I doing? Not doubting, but how am I doing? Am I on right path or not? So ultimate freedom. I am here for a shorter while, and someday my body will die, but before it happens, I want to enjoy my life to the fullest and fulfill the supreme goal of my life, experience Satchit Anand. So how? Freedom from anger, fear, and selfish desires. Freedom from my attachments and vices. Freedom from the cycle of life and death. Freedom from miseries and pains. And realize my true self, that I am Satchit Anand. And once we do that, we go beyond all this, and this is where I will last forever. In other words, I will reach to Param Dham. I will merge with the supreme consciousness. I'm no different than God. So God is everlasting. Atma is everlasting. My body is temporary. So I will be everlasting. Though body might not be there, but I will be there. My Atma will be there, because it is united with the supreme power. So ultimate yoga I have attended. That's what it means. So our sankalpa is repeated here. I am in supreme peace. That's the sankalpa. And I do all of my activities to attain supreme peace. And while doing that, I enjoy, I am happy, I am healthy, and I am peaceful. And I am Satchit Anand. So thank you very much for attaining how to get freedom from fear and anger through meditation, through pranayam, and through yoga, Patanjali's yoga, and going inner within ourselves. So thank you very much for joining.